Hi guys, I actually came back home. Now I have like a 10 to 20 minutes time to share recent news. Let's see. So we have like this post in debunking conspiracy group. I don't know if it sounds weird to you. You might as well like write it in the comments and say how I should rename the group to keep the meaning that I was actually putting into these words. So I wanted to like have a group which discusses and finds out truth about the conspiracies and informs, makes reports about this truth about those conspiracies, or actually find out fake information and debunk it. So like, you know, share the information, show the real meaning of things. So and today we had like a post by our very important man, posting all these interesting facts and links. You might have already known him. His name is Arjen Hartman. He's from Holland, Netherlands. So he shared the link about, let's see, the ship that was found. Its name, Steamboat Arabia, missing for 132 years, discovered 45 feet under a field. So it's a field of corn, I think. So let's. I'll share the link into the description so you can read it by yourself. And it is interesting that blah blah blah. This ship was carrying many interesting things, like soldiers, like some 4,000 pairs of shoes, to 20,000 number. I don't know what this does it mean. Maybe cubic feet, something like that. So whatever, they found some interesting things in it because mud preserves all this stuff, and it's actually looking very new. So he even traveled the Yellowstone River. So this is might be surprising because I've seen Yellowstone River and it doesn't look very deep to me. How could a steamboat travel it? But maybe that time the flood that was actually in 19th century, in the middle of 19th century, probably it was in the 40s of 19th century. So and maybe we had like a couple of waves of this flood. Maybe one was like in 20s, one was in 30s, one was in 40s and stuff like that. So maybe it was like aftershock flood is that continued and continued and continued to until it erased all these civilizations that we had. So probably we have a bunch of information about floods in the United States before the Civil War, and this ship was actually lost in the period of 1856, something like that, till let's see. So sank in the 1860s. So the boat sank in the 1860s. So it's like the period of Crimea War and the Civil War, and it's the period of abolishment of slaves in the United States, abolishing the slavery, and also is a period of so-called unfortressing the peasants in Russia. So like it doesn't maybe seem familiar to you, but unfortressing fortress, like a fortress, like a fort, like you know, some defensive um, castle. So like fortressing, it means like they were subscribed to one nobleman in this fortress. So it's like probably better than slavery, but something like slavery. So we had like all those peasants were fortresses in those castles and fortresses and cities of those noble people. And after it was like developing until they were completely prohibited, and this was type of termination of this fortressing, and it was called unfortressing. So probably it was the same period of time as abolishment in the United States. And so what my meaning is that the flood I'm researching right now was in the 40s. That was the last flood. So probably that flood kept the mud in the rivers, because rivers were actually the paths of this flood, because they are, have more abilities to slide the mud faster. So all those cities that were flooded close to the rivers, and at least what I'm observing, like Moscow is close, has a river in the center of Moscow, and all those places that I see are close to the river. Each time we see like a distance not more than 2 miles, um, miles away from the river, maybe 3 miles away from. We see some places where we have no rivers, but those places still have underground rivers. So maybe the mud buried the rivers and they became underground rivers. So probably we have some underground rivers in Moscow too, and they are also in the center of Moscow near the Kremlin. And now those rivers are like 50 feet deep under this layer of mud, and only then we see the brickwork, masonry, whatever, all those tunnels in which those rivers were captured by the ancient people, and those are actually made more perfect than the system of sewage or whatever, this underground canalization of human byproducts, whatever. So the question was that Arjun said, Philip, that puts a mudflood at 1885. So now we have to research seismic events and volcanoes and such. Where did you find 1885 here? Probably you lost some sense in this while reading this, because it's the boat sank in 1860s. So probably it was sunk in the water that was above the mud, because water is less dense than the mud. So mud came down in that period of time. So it was like the bottoms of previous rivers. So, but the ship was so heavy, so it sunk into the water and it sunk into the mud, which was brought there by the mud flood. That's the only reason that we can see it so deep, because the mud was fresh at that time. It wasn't hardened in the river. It provided moisture in this mud, so it was like very you know, hard, and it captured the ship inside the mud. So it's like sucked it in, whatever. So probably you lost something while you read this article. So it actually proves that the mud flood was before that time, before the Civil War, and so the Civil War was possibly the consequence of that, the change of the players after the mud flood, because the players changed and they started fighting each other. And before that, probably the same situation was occurring everywhere, and nobody was actually caring about it. But they started fighting exactly after the mud flood, and it was worldwide war. And that war um, between, let's say, civil war between North and South Confederate States, and it's over and over again. We have those problems till the same period of time. We see it everywhere. We have Crimea problem right now. We have it, and we had it at that time, and we have the problem between North. This only proves that the players since that period never changed. We have the same players. I've been talking about those players, and all those players actually playing with each other. They are enemies, but some of them are allies at some period of time. And those allies ships, those alliances, they change, and maybe right now we have another conflict between the same players, the same teams. I'd say that because every team has many players inside, and you might as well watch those videos about those players and you understand what I'm talking about. So, okay, and I also wanted to talk about NASA because yesterday I made video on flat Earth professor fake video. So many comments were like arguing with what I say about the flat Earth or whatever. People, let's not divide us into flat Earth, non-flat Earth. We'll have time. We'll have more information about it, and I'll bring up more information. If you want to know how I think about flat Earth, you might as well watch that video that I made, and it's on the playlist on the main page of my channel. You can see it about 4D reflection map. So we'll have more to talk about when you watch it. But anyways, don't care about it. Let's watch like the page of NASA so you can see what I'm talking about. I've been showing you YouTube channel of NASA. It's has so low activity, and I wanted to, well, why don't I just go to Facebook page of NASA and see how many people like it. And you see like 20 million and a half people that liked, and 20 million and a half people that follow it. Just see these numbers. It's just terrific, right? Even I have like 54 friends that like it. Yari don't like NASA. Okay, so let's see the posts. And we have 274 views, 88 reactions, 18 shares, and 5 comments. Okay, let's see the next one. Maybe not enough time passed. We have 3.2 thousands. 277 shares and 132 comments. Just imagine what an active group, what an active page that we have. So how does this compare to the number of people who follow it? It compares like a total failure of NASA, guys. I'm serious about it, because just imagine how many people actually follow it and don't see anything, unsubscribe probably on those news, and not liking anything, and you don't like it. Facebook don't show it to you, doesn't show it to you, because if you don't like it, if you don't watch it, if you don't come to it, whatever you follow, you don't see it. That's the algorithm of Facebook. So those people just ignore this piece of crap, you know. So nobody actually watches it except those maybe couple of uh, maybe 20,000 people at least. Not that much. Just watch those groups, watch those channels, and see nobody's watching this crap. You know, just imagine how many money they spend on this marketing information. It's probably half of budget they get. So all those people that's supposed to be globe um, followers, globe theories and stuff, they're supposed to like watch this thing, and they don't watch it because it's total crap, because it doesn't really make any sense. And your brain just develops your mentality, and this is falls out of your box. You don't watch it anymore. It's your choice, people. It's your social marketing. Okay, if you follow into this idea, you're gonna watch it. If you don't follow this idea, you ain't gonna watch it. So subscribed on this NASA, they don't watch it anymore. So this is not really important. So quit, you know, trying to argue with flat earthers. They have more activity, they have more reactions, they have more shares, they have more likes, they have more. They're interested in the topic. Why can't we just let them do it? Let them do it. Don't argue with them. Your people don't watch their main source. They don't want it. They don't have it as a, you know, as an idea, as a total idea. So think about it. And thanks for watching my videos. And I hope you don't mind my recent activities, because I had like departed from my main target, but I'm still on it. And although I had some time about many other things, it's just the way I thought I supposed to do it. I supposed to bring you this information. And what else? I wanted to talk about. Look at this NASA. Look at this Roscosmos, which is also Russian NASA. So today I was watching the interview, the press conference of United States Secretary of State, official spokesman. It was like some woman. I didn't remember her name. It's a really nice interview, press conference, whatever. Just listen to it, find it in YouTube and listen to it. It's really important. And you will see the level of qualification of those State Department spokesmen that you have. And people don't trust government because this is just ridiculous. Just watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Thanks a lot for watching me, and see you later. Bye.